Hello there, Michelle G here, Bendy Stitchy. My pronouns are she, her, and this is my channel where I talk about cross stitch. Sometimes I talk about knitting. I haven't made a video in 2 weeks, which is unusual for me. Usually I'm every week. Last weekend was wildly busy, so I just took the pressure off myself. But I'm back again, and so are you, so thank you for coming back. We have a lot to talk about. I have a new cross-stitch planner that Nati is working on for Notion. You know I love Notion. If you've been here before, you've seen this is my Notion planner. So you've seen my Notion. This is where I keep track of my stitching and my projects and my progress photos and how much I've stitched this year and all the things. So if you've been here before, you've seen that. And now there is a Flosstube planner that is in beta testing phase, and Nati has been kind enough to allow me to be one of the beta testers. So we're going to be going off of that, and everything should be smooth like butter, despite my usual. But I can tell you right off the bat, because of the planner, since the last time I filmed, I have put in approximately 5,635 stitches over 10 stitching days, and I have stitched for 29 hours and 48 minutes on those stitching days. So that's kind of fun, right? Just having all of that right at your fingertips. Anyway, okay, so what have I been stitching? I had a start and finish. So the reason that I didn't film last week is because Danielle, my friend Danielle, and I were at the Acorns and Threads sidewalk sale. So Janine used to do the sidewalk sale like every few years, and we did it last year. And it's where a bunch of us normal people go and we pay $20 to have a table on the sidewalk out front of Acorns and Threads, the shop here in Portland area. And last year there were 7 or 8 of us. This year there were 4. So that's why Janine only really does it every couple years, because the turnout gets less and less. Anyway, it was a fun time. Danielle and I got rid of a lot of stuff. I went from 2 bags and a box down to like one tiny little container. But it did get a little slow in the afternoon, so I thought, let me start something. So I finally started Quirky Quaker Sheep, which was one of my Whip Go picks for May, one of my Quirky Quaker Whip Go picks for May. And I just happened to have this, I think now after stitching on it, I think it's a 32 count. This is a 32 count mystery linen. It's a great color. I don't know what color it is. And since this little sheepy sheep came out, I have wanted to stitch a black sheep, because obviously. So this is mystery linen. And then this is, hold on, let me do it this way so you can see all this stuff against the fabric. So this is a mystery linen. And then this is Gentle Art Simply Wool in Onyx. And the green is DMC 4045. If you are not familiar with the DMC Colores line or color variations, these are DMC, but they're variegated. And they're really beautiful. There's a lot of really beautiful. I should use them more. And then for the pink, I actually used Valdani. And this one is called Nantucket Rose. Valdani Nantucket Rose. So that was a start and finish. Last week on August 3rd. Started and finished. I put in 482 or so, because my counting isn't always perfect, stitches, and I spent 2 hours and 28 minutes on that. So start and finish. And then it just so happens that I had another piece of this same fabric. So this is going to be my giveaway this week. It's a Pass the Stash giveaway. I keep this, and you get this and the flosses. The only thing that I used in addition to these flosses is I used DMC 310 for the little sheepy's face. The sheepy face and the sheepy legs are DMC 310. So you get all the over-dyed stuff and the wool, but you just got to dig some 310 out of your stash. So I will post a Google form down below, and you just let me know on the Google form if you want to stitch the sheep. And I guess I'll put in, if you want to comment down below, put in, would you do a black sheep, or do you like the cover? Because that's a cute little sheepy too. But let me know, like, would you do a black sheep or a white sheep? Would you stitch your sheep in wool? How would you stitch your sheep? Rainbow sheep? What are you going to do? So let me know in the comment section. It would be fun to put together like a little herd of sheep, but I love it. So this will go in my to be finished bin on my Flosstube, in my to be finished in the journal bin. Okay, And then addition to, so that was a start and finish. That was my only finish this past, well, I guess I had another one that was kind of a finish. So I showed this last time and I said I wanted to finish. This is my birdie, Vierlanda Sisters 1 birdie. And this is my 2 years of, God, I centered that so badly, didn't I? It should be like an inch. It doesn't matter. It's going to work. It's going to be fine and it's going to work out. But this is my hashtag 2 years of tours bell pull. So I am stitching, this is Vierlanda Sisters 1 called Birdie from StitchyBox. And my idea is I have this fabric, which is a 40 count long quarter. So a long quarter is a quarter of a yard, but rather than being cut into a quarter like we're used to, like 4 equal parts cross on the X and Y axis, this is just one long cut of the yard. So this is a quarter of it cut lengthwise. And I said last time, because Le Tour de France finished off before the last video, or on the day of the last video maybe, and I said last time that I would finish the tour portion. So I'm stitching Birdie over and over. She'll fit 6 times on this fabric. So this is my hashtag 2 years of tours bell pull. So I did all of the motifs. There's 21 motifs in the color of the jersey of the man who won the stage. And then if the yellow jersey won all these stages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then he won a 6th up there before he was wearing the yellow jersey. But if he wins a stage in the jersey, then I outline it in the jersey color. So like the yellow jersey won these stages, the green jersey won these stages, the white jersey you can't tell won this stage. But then up here where it usually has the alphabet, I made it say Tour de France, Tadej Pogačar, because he won. And then it says Anno 2024. And then down here, because I left an annoying amount of space between the Giro d'Italia and the Tour de France, I decided I would put the names of the other jersey winners, because there's 4 jerseys in each tour. 4 official jerseys, bless you, Wade. And this is Richard Carapaz. He won the polka dot jersey. Biniam Girmay won the green jersey. And Remco Evenepoel won the white jersey. And I realize now that I am screwed if Remco actually wins a tour, because I can't, like, Tadej Pogačar, first and last name, fit there. But I can't write Remco Evenepoel. It's too long. So it would have to be R. Evenepoel. Incidentally, Remco Evenepoel, he also won at the Olympics the men's road race and the men's time trial. And he's the first person in history to win both the road race and the time trial. And he's in white here because he won the best young rider. So he's the best young rider. He's the best rider under the age of like 23 or something in Le Tour de France this year. And then you can see up here, my Giro d'Italia is mostly done. I'm through stage, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 6, 7, 8. I have 10 stages to go up here to catch up with the Giro. But La Vuelta a España starts on, La Vuelta a España starts on August 17th. So on the first couple stages of La Vuelta, when it's just these tiny crowns, I'll go back and catch up on the Giro as well. So swimming along. I'll have these 3 finished, and then next year, 3 more, and then it'll be 2 years of tours bell pull. I have a ringing in my ears now. But I'm very, very excited. Very excited about that project. I don't know I think it was Christina's idea, my friend Christina. It was her idea originally to do these samplers. And because she does them too. She stitches them too. We choose different projects all the time, but we both do this to commemorate. It was her idea to commemorate it. And I just, I think the fabric inspired that one actually. Because I was like, what am I going to put on this? Anyway, next up is this I stitched for Christmas in July, which is a celebration of my friend Diana. It is Kismet. And let me see. I don't know if I have, let me check. So this is Christmas basket. I stitched on it for Christmas in July, and I also doubled up for something else. And I do. So here is the cover photo of this. So this was a Patreon chart from Fox and Rabbit. And This grabbed me immediately because this green color fabric was everything. And you can see that there's an alphabet on the bottom. I got rid of the alphabet because I wanted to change it to say Christmas in July. And I did all the calculations and I worked it all out and I put it off center. So whatever, I'll put like a little snowflake over here or whatever. But this was, I worked on this for Pick-a-Whip for a sentimental project because I'm sentimental about my friend Diana. So this is a piece of 32 count linen from Fox and Rabbit. This is just a one-off dye. I put this in the weirdest spot on this fabric ever. I could have moved it down 84 inches, like down to the bottom and then conserved that. It doesn't matter. It's whatever. So Christmas in July, and then I'll put just like a little snowflake or motif over here or something. But I met my goal. My goal for Pick-a-Whip was 500 stitches. So this will come back out later this year because I think there's not that much left. I don't want to say that. There's a lot left, but I think I can finish it. I'll talk about it in my plans section, but I have a really crazy idea and I think I can mostly do it, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see if I can do my idea. And then the other one that I worked on that I just did a little bit on, this was for Pick-a-Whip. This was for Pick-a-Whip, a project with a bug on it. And this is Autumn Night Garden from Tiny Modernist. And I wasn't as good with this one. I put that picture of Christmas basket into my Notion app, but I didn't put a picture of this one into my Notion app. So I'm just going to really quickly, more or less quickly, pull it up here on my computer so that you can see what it's supposed to look like because it is really cool. These last two I started for my Patreon WhipGo this year. I have since fallen off the bandwagon hard with Patreon WhipGo. Not because I don't like my Patreon charts, but just because I have so many things going on. So this is Autumn Night Garden from Tiny Modernist. And I think, incidentally, so Tiny Modernist, Cheryl, she only leaves her Patreon charts up for so long, but I think she just added a feature in her shop where if you join her she added a feature in her Patreon where if you join her Patreon, you don't have to be in the Patreon at the project level. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to be in Patreon at the level where you get a project every month. You can purchase it after she takes it down. But anyway, this is Autumn Night Garden. I am at the level where I get a thingy every month. And I am actually stitching this on 40 count Murky from Picture This Plus. And all I wanted to do, because I had already finished my WhipGo, but I had a little bit of thread hanging from this color of DMC. So I just wanted to finish and stitch that thread in. So that's all I did on this last week was just a couple hundred stitches. Not even a couple hundred stitches. I don't know how many I did last week. Let me look. I think I'm less organized now because... Well, let me show you. Let me actually show you. Let me go back and show you how great Notion is. So if I want to know how many stitches I put in on this last week, I will go to my Notion. I'll find the WIP. This is Autumn Night Garden. This has my information in it. I started it on February 25th. It's in progress. These are the dimensions. I could add the fabric. Let me just add the fabric. I didn't have Murky in there, so I would add the fabric Murky. This is a 40 count linen from Picture This Plus. And the WIP is with Autumn Night Garden. This is a neutral to me. It's a dark neutral, but it's a neutral. The color family, I'm going to say like black, yellow, orange, maybe black, yellow. Seems weird. But yeah, so then that fabric is in there. Oh, and then I'm silly, so I add an icon. So for all of my Picture This Plus, it has a little picture next to it. Because I am who I am. And then I didn't put the DMC with it, but you can go back to the days that you worked on it. So like July 27th here. I'll click on July 27th. So I put in 47 stitches. See right there? I put in 47 stitches to finish off that string of floss. So not very much, but I did work on it. And I really like this pattern. So this will come back later in my plan section too when I talk about this idea that I'm percolating. But I feel like there's not that much stitching left. There's a ton of stitching left in this. Do not let me kid you. A ton of stitching left. Okay, and then my biggest whip that I put the most stitches on. I put thousands and thousands of stitches on this whip for this week, for this 2 weeks. I'm using this whip for my Olympics challenge with the nap time stitcher. Whoa, look out, look out. This is this Juneteenth day from Nuri at Shaded Stitchery. And I think I've put in a ton of work on this week. So let me just look back and see where I was 2 weeks ago. So again, I'm going to go into this Juneteenth day on this thingy. And I'm going to look at all the days I stitched on it. I started at September 25th, I started tracking it on September 25th, 2023. I didn't start it on September 25th, but these are a little imperfect because I started Notion after I started some of these whips, but it's whatever. So the last time I showed it was July 27th. So on March 15th, thank goodness I have a picture. This is what it looked like on March 15th when I started stitching on it again. And this is what it looks like now. Holy progress, right? Holy progress. So on March 15th, I had from this line here, this little broken line, down to the flag line, the American flag line. So I put in all of this. This border is hefty, but look at how beautiful. And then this line, and just last night I finished the numbers. These are hands down the best numbers. This is the best font I've ever stitched in cross stitch, and I've stitched some good fonts. This is hands down the best. These numbers, I don't know if you can tell, 2, 4, and 6, they're meant to have Algerian eyelets, but I did Smyrna crosses because I like Algerian eyelets kind of bump into the fabric and Smyrnas bump out, and I like the tactile feeling of them bumping out. So all I have left is a border here. This border goes a third of the way across and then a third of the way across. There's a big flag in the middle, 2 plants growing out of the flag, and then a border at the bottom. So I only have like this much stitching left to do. This flag in the middle here though is 1,881 stitches, full coverage. So it's only 3 colors, the flag, but it's a lot of stitches. So my goal was to finish this during the Olympics. Will I finish it during the Olympics? No. No, I will not. Will I get close? Yes. Do I think I can finish it before La Vuelta starts? Absolutely. I think I can finish this week. I stitch a lot, and it's really not a problem for me to finish a few thousand stitches in a week. It's really not. Like, I can tell you last week, because of Notion, I can tell you because of Notion, I can tell you this week I have put in 2,345 stitches. Okay, so if I only put in 2,300 stitches this week, I won't finish this because just the flag alone is 1,800. But I'm going to do it. And this is why I'm going to do it. Let me show you. Back to Notion. Also, I'm obsessed with this. 12 out of 10. If you have this in your stash and you haven't started it yet, please start it. This is a genius pattern. Every time I stitch on it, I am loath to put it down. I just want to stitch on it more. This is on 40 count mushroom linen from Silk Weaver. And this needle minder is from Colleen, Rebel Stitcher. And just everything about this is amazing. 12 out of 10, like I said. Let me put it down in such a way that I'm not going to kick it or something while I show you this. Okay, so in my Notion, there is a function for monthly and weekly views. And then there's also a function, this is my front page, there's also a function for yearly snapshots, okay? So I'm looking at my 2024 snapshot. 2023, I started, I think Nati made this Notion tracker in about July, which is when I started tracking. So my 2023 data is not as strong. But you can see I've completed 34 things in 2024. But what I'm focused on right now are my 13 in progress projects. And always about August of every year, I think, I wonder if I can finish everything that I've touched this year. Every year about this time, I have this thought. I wonder if I can finish everything that I've touched this year. So for some reason, it feels more attainable this year than it ever has in the past. Not that it doesn't always feel attainable, but there it is. So then I go into Notion and I can easily pull up, like, these are the things I've touched this year. Granted, I have other things that I still need to stitch. I have round robins that need to be stitched. I have models that I'm going to need to stitch. I have that stuff. But this Juneteenth day is as good as done because I am not putting this away until she's finished. So this Juneteenth day is as good as done. Veerland Sisters one doesn't count because I can't finish that one until after Love Welta 2025, so that doesn't matter. Christmas Basket, we already looked at that. I can finish it. Autumn Night Garden, we looked at that too. With a couple of weeks of concentrated effort, I can finish it. So Christmas Basket, I would say I can finish in a week. Juneteenth Day, I can finish in a week. That's 2 weeks. Christmas Basket would probably take 2 weeks. Oh, Autumn Night Garden would probably take 2 weeks. Dakir Shawl is knitting, it doesn't count. Quaker Coronet is my tail end project, so that kind of gets finished whenever it gets finished, so that's not a problem. Stitch for Pride will be done by the end of the year. I'm actually shocked that I haven't stitched the June one or the August one already because I usually stitch it within the first couple of days. So there's August, September, October, November, December, 5 more left. That's another week because I usually stitch those in a day. Underwater City from Barbara Anna. That's this one. She'll probably take 2 weeks. So that's 7 weeks now. Where'd I go? Aberlowney, 1825. She'll probably take 3 weeks. So that's 10 weeks. We're up to 10 weeks. This is Aberlowney. Taking Up Space. This is another one from Nuri at Shaded Stitchery. I only got 1 day in on this. Do you love Notion or do you love Notion? So I would say conservatively 2 weeks for Taking Up Space. So now we're at what, 14, 15, 16 weeks? Retreat Spot Sampler, I don't expect that to be finished this year. It's for retreats. Bushland Quaker 2, it's this one. I would say conservatively 2 weeks on this one. So what is that? 1 week, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, say 10, 11, 12, 13. Grief Knows No Bounds is my sticking point. This is a big chart. It's a big chart for me and it's dense. The border is taking me a long time and I don't have that much of it done. I'm only just there with it. So if this is, how many weeks are left in this year? Hey Siri. How many weeks are left in 2024?
It was 31 weeks and 5 days ago.
No. That's not what I asked. How many weeks left? There's 20 weeks left in 2024. So, because I can't keep track of what I just counted, let's count it again. So 1 week, 2 weeks, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I could potentially have 7 weeks to work on Grief Knows No Bounds. Now that's if I don't work on anything else. So can I do this challenge? Probably not. But am I going to go for it? Like, I just spent 20 minutes talking about it. I think I'm going to go for it. I think I'm going to see what I can do. That means that every time I do Pick-a-Whip, I'm going to make one of these projects fit into it. This one is done. Every time I do Pick-a-Whip, I'm going to make one of these projects fit into it. And we're just going to go from there. That doesn't leave me a whole lot of time for my Quirky Quaker whip go, which does make me sad. But I'm just making sure I marked the Quirky Quaker sheep. It was finished. It makes me a little sad that I won't touch any of my other goals, but I think that getting as close as possible to finishing all of my whips would be a really nice thing. I think I'm going to go for it. Finishing all the whips that I've touched. I've touched 13 this year. So obviously I won't finish the ones that aren't meant to be finished. But anyway, that's what I've got. Okay. Should we talk about purchases? So 2 weeks of purchases. I actually don't have that much to show for 2 weeks of purchases. First of all, last Wednesday, July 31st, we went to Acorns and Threads. It was Whip Wednesday. I think I've lost a floss. Anyway, they had just gotten in a shipment of Lakeside linens, and I am a sucker for Lakeside linens. I just think they're beautiful. So I bought a fat half of vintage bittersweet. It's just so pretty. And I'm having a pink phase. I'm having a pink moment. If I had not already been so far along on this Juneteenth day, I would have stopped it and started over on this fabric. It's just pretty. Vintage bittersweet. I got a 36. I like a 36 count because I can use one strand. I can also use 2 strands on 36. So I got that. Let's see. I also bought a Threadworks that now appears to be lost, so we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And then other purchases, I am in the Dying for Sass Patreon at the level of Floss of the Month. So every month when Jenny dyes her flosses, she gives us things to vote on. What do you want to vote on? What's the inspiration? And this one was actually a bowl of citrus. But if that is not Skittles, if that floss is not called Skittles, it's not. It's actually called citrus. But if that floss should not be called Skittles, then I've never seen a floss that should be called Skittles. That is the Skittlesiest floss I have ever seen in my life. I love it. What am I going to use it for? Heck if I know. It doesn't matter. Don't ask me details. Don't bore me with details. And then I got my StitchyBox Silk of the Month Club. I haven't even opened it yet. That's how busy this week has been. So let me open this. I am in the StitchyBox Flower Silk Collectors Club, monthly club. I'm on auto renew, so Liz just bills me and sends it every month. She usually has an inspiration. This is pretty. Ooh, some of these I have and some of these I don't have. Okay, so this is the Floss of the Month. These are the Silks of the Month from StitchyBox. This one I already have. This is called Apollo's Sunlight. There's a whole collection of flosses that are inspired by Greek gods. This one I don't have. This is called Poinsettia. Or, I'm going to write it on, it's Quetla Shoshe. That's the actual name of Poinsettia, not named after a colonizer. This is called Lion's Tail. That's a really pretty, like, tonal variegation. That's nice. That's nice. And then this is called Honeysuckle. That's a really pretty, like, soft, unassuming yellow. So, really, really pretty. That's nice. I'm just building my stash with these. I don't have anything earmarked for them. But I will say that I did join. Liz from StitchyBox has set up something on Patreon. It's not a Patreon like mine, right? Where I write blogs and I share vlogs and I do filming Flosstube live and I do patterns. Liz is called, let me switch over because I just joined this. This is the Thread Waves Learning Sampler by StitchyBox. And what it is Liz gives us, it's going to be 45 stitches long, 45 stitches wide, and then it's going to be long. So that skinny quarter that I was using, or a linear quarter or whatever it's called, that's what Liz recommends for this project. So Liz is doing hers on a 28 count Lugana from Fiber on a Whim, but it's this. So this is the setup row. And each week I think it's a week. Each week she teaches us a thing. So like the first week she's just having us set it up, but then I think she'll teach us, I haven't downloaded the first week yet, how to manipulate our variegated thread so that it pools like that, right? Because obviously she didn't go stripey, stripey, stripe, stripe, stripe. She went diagonally. And then the second week is called Eyelets and Rays, and she teaches us eyelets and rays. So here's different eyelets and then ray stitches also, and then one giant eyelet stitch, and then 4 eyelets in the middle, overlapping eyelets in the middle of X's. So that's a really good, like, if you have a bunch of variegated flosses laying around, or if you want to learn some techniques, 45 stitches wide is not that much, and this is a great way to use your StitchyBox sews. So, shameless plug, I pay Liz for all of this. I just think she's a great human. So, jump on board, join with me. Sounds like fun. What else? Plans this Juneteenth day. Level Up starts next Saturday. Happy Mail. I'm kind of on Happy Mail and plans. So I'm calling this Happy Mail because I didn't buy it. Anna, Books and Stitches, Anna, that I meet up with at Acorns. She and I split Fabric of the Month clubs, so I give her half of my Fox and Rabbit, and she gave me half of her. This is a 40 count Verdal from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. Gorgeous, right? Sorry, someone's moving out in my apartment, and this is apartment life, but this is part of why I'm in my pink face. Look at how pretty this is. This is so pretty. This is so pretty. Incidentally, this Juneteenth day would fit on a 40 count, a fat eighth of 40 count. Because that's what mine's going to end up being on. I don't know what I'm going to put on that, but something lovely. Something lovely. So that'll go in my stash. And then also a plan, because this came in the mail. So my friends Steph and Rachel and Heather, we are in an Ink Circles Rogue Round Robin. And Steph finished Rachel Ray's project and sent it to me because I have to stitch on Heather's, and then I'll send Heather's to Rachel. But if I just stitch on Heather's and Rachel's, then I can send them both to Rachel overseas at once. Rachel included floss tags of her doggo Luna, such a sweetie petite. And Rachel's doing Wildflowers from Ink Circles is the one that she chose. And Rachel's doing it all in the called for fabric, or all in the called for flosses. So this is Classic Colorworks. I think 4 colors of Classic Colorworks, 2 purples and 2 grays. Just really pretty called for colors. And this is almost done. 3/4 of this are done. I'm going to be the one that finishes up. This appears to be a 40 count linen. It's definitely a linen. I think it's probably a 40 count. But there's only 1/4 left. And it's for me. And these ones are not that big, she says. Can you hear the air quotes? It's 111 by 111. So this quarter is only like 55 by 55. It'll stitch up fast. But it will, though. That's not famous last words. But look how pretty. And then I can send Rachel's back to her. It'll be finished. She'll be the first one done. And I'll send Heather's on to Rachel. And hopefully that all gets done by June, July, August, end of August. Shoot. But this does stitch up really fast. So this one will be maybe a couple days. And then Heather's, once I get down to it and sucked into it, a couple days. So it'll go quick. It'll go quickly. But that's in my plans now. I have 3 Ink Circles round robins in my possession. All need to be sent out by the end of August. Tight. Okay, so calculate that into my 7 extra weeks of time that I have allotted. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, and then last but not least, for the cross-stitching stuff, before I start talking about my tarot card and my book that I finished a book, are auctions. So this week backstory on this is Tasha at Acorns and Threads. If you've ever attended an Acorns and Threads event virtually, then you've probably interacted with Tasha. Tasha is the one who runs the virtual side of all of the Acorns and Threads, I shouldn't say all, but almost all of the Acorns and Threads events. So if you've been to Pinwis or Acorn Gathering or anything, but you've been on the virtual side, Tasha's been your MC. So Tasha was at the sidewalk sale, and she actually had her stash and stash from 2 other stitchers. And she was doing 50% of proceeds from all of her sidewalk sale sales go to Doctors Without Borders. Tasha really also loves charity work, kind of, you know, in the same way that I do. So she said, do you want to grab, because she and I were both excited about Kamala Harris, and I know that some people are more excited and some people are less excited. She and I are both very excited. And she said, do you want to take some stuff off of my table and do a fundraiser on your Patreon and proceeds to the Kamala Harris election campaign? And I said, yes, I do. So here's the 5 things that I got. I've already taken pictures of them. A lot of them are limited edition kits, which is really fun, but it makes it hard to price. So the first one is, it's called Sampler Threads Through Time, A Stitcher's Odyssey. This was an exclusive project for the Northwest Sampler Guild, October 5th through 8th, 2007. So it's this cute little pattern that you stitch on top of an Altoids tin, and then a little scissor fob. Everything that you see here is included except the scissors aren't in here. So you get the floss, the fabric, the Altoids tin that still has Altoids in it. I mean, they're from 2007, but like, do Altoids go bad? I don't think they do. And then the pattern, and then finishing instructions. So for this one I grabbed and I was like, could I bid on that myself? Because I just love that ship. That's such a good ship. So that's the first one. The next one is from Hillside Samplings. It's called Folk Art Thread Keep. And again, it's a complete kit. So it's everything you need to make this thread keep. This is the front of it and that's the back of it. And then it also has this, to make this housewife, I guess this is a housewife, but it has this thread keep. It's hand painted, the thread keep, and it is limited edition, so it's numbered on the back. This is number 139 out of 1,000. So 1,000 is a lot. This is from Liberty Hill, hand painted. And it's wood. So everything you need to make the housewife, including floss, fabric, finishing fabric, and instructions. I can't read it. But anyway, out of print. And then this one's super fun. So this is from the first annual Silverton Tea and Stitch happening in, I don't know what year. But I don't know if there's been a second annual or what. But this pattern is called Animal Crackers. It's by Needle Mania. Oh, 2007. Right there. 2007. And it just looks like a really fun pattern, right? Like, here you go. It just looks fun. And then it's kitted up with 32 count Lugana in the colorway Tan Marble. This is from Sassy's hand painted fabric. So the fabric is hand painted. I don't know what's the difference between hand painted and hand dyed, but it's a 32 count Lugana. And then the floss is actually, it's a 9-strand wool in the colorway Rosewood Dark from Gloriana. So it's a wool, but you strand it when you're going to use it. And it's got a really great variegation from like a deep purple to a maroon. Really nice. And you only have to use 1 strand on the 32 count, 1 strand of the wool. So that should be enough wool to get you through the sampler. Again, I almost want to bid on that one myself, but I don't need it. So off of Tasha's table, I took things that I really wanted to stitch. So I hope you all do too, for charity. Okay, and then this one is actually a whip from the stitcher that, there was a stitcher that passed away, and so Tasha had a lot of her stash and her whips for sale. This is called Alpha Bat. It's from Hands to Work. It's an older picture, so not, oh, that's doing okay. And then this is on a 28 count light terracotta casual linen. It comes with all the flosses you need. It's a lot of skeins of floss. Well, I dropped some. It's a lot of skeins of floss. It's Classic Colorworks, and then there are 5 skeins of this other brand. This has the tiniest of tiny starts on it, and I took a good picture of it, but it's just the tiniest of tiny border starts. But this, the fabric came from Acorns. So Acorns, if you go to Acorns and you need something kitted up, they will cut your fabric to size, label it, and put the name of the project that you want to stitch on it. So that's up for auction. That's number 4. And then the last one, let me put this away. I already took pictures. I took pictures last week and then just never got around to posting them. But I guess that's kind of a good thing because I also didn't make a Flosstube last week, so I didn't get to show any of this off. So, last but not least is this. This is called the Virtuous Woman Stocking. This is from Carriage House Samplings. And Tasha and I both thought this would be a great auction item for Kamala. It says, a virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that hath no shame is rottenness in his bones. And I was thinking that I could rechart that somehow. I don't know exactly what I should make it say, but let me know down below, like, how would you change that to reflect Kamala Harris or, like, a more modern woman? This is Carriage House Samplings from 2007. 2007 is a common theme here. It's really cool. This is charted in DMC and MPI silks. But I'm going to pull overdyed flosses from my stash, probably overdyed silk and cotton mix. The only thing about this is that it's 172 stitches wide by 447 stitches tall. So even my biggest pieces of 40 count are not big enough to accommodate this with a healthy margin. I do have this. This is 40 count Mellow Stone from Atomic Ranch Fabrics. It was in the Garon Stitchery Fabric of the Month Club. This piece is 17 by 26. So this pattern does fit on this piece, but you only have about an inch top and bottom. So that's a risk. But I'm putting that up as an option because I don't, outside of buying fabric for this piece, I don't have any in my stash. The other option I have, and this is a little bit wilder, but I think we're wild here. This is a 27 count pumpkin patch from Bestitch Me. So this is 18 by 27. The color is a little wilder, but I think it would be great on this. So it's 27 inches and it's 27 count. So 447 divided by 27. This is well big enough. You would only need 16.5 inches if you were going to stitch this pattern over 1 on this fabric. So those are your 2 fabric options that I have. And I'll put them both up with the auction, and you can have both if you want both. Or the auction winner can just tell me which one they want, and we can do it that way. I'm open to it. If I were a little bit wilder, I would say let's do a hashtag rot his bones, Sal. But I'm not stitching this. It's too big. But if you cut off all this part, like if you could, this is a really nice sun, but if you cut off everything above the sun, it would significantly decrease the amount of stocking. But it's really, I like the lady. I love her butterfly net. The butterflies, you can't really see the sun very well, but that's a great sun. And then all these little creatures in the water. I'll kit it up. We'll see what happens. I already took the pictures. Oh, I didn't take the pictures of this one, but I took the pictures of the other one. So hopefully on the same day that this video goes live, I also have the bids up on my Patreon. So we're just taking a break from RTFC for a week while we raise money for Kamala Harris. And that's all for the stitching. So if you're only here for the stitching and you don't want to hear about the book that I read or my tarot card, that's totally okay. But this is your chance to exit stage left. And let me know down below, how would you rechart that if you would? And are you stitching your Quirky Quaker sheep with wool? And if so, what color? That's it. Okay, so updates. my card of the day, I chose it from today. I grabbed the This Might Hurt tarot. This is a gift from my friend Danielle. I was going for a different tarot, and then when I saw this one in the box, I was like, oh, I have to pull from that. So I did. I listened to that kind of intuitive. And I got the Page of Wands. And this book is really good with the description, so I'm just going to read you the description out of the book, and you can make your own interpretation. If this is your card of the day, if you voyage with me on Saturdays for your card of the day and you take mine as yours, then this is what it means for us today. The designer of this deck, Isabella Rotman, she gives all of the cards kind of a subtitle. So the subtitle of this card is Student of the Creative Spark. And the description is long, but bear with me. The Page of Wands is a small flame ready to catch and grow. Actually, there are many small flames burning side by side. Which one will find tinder? The Page of Wands is for those of us who want to do everything. My page's wand is a ukulele because what other instrument better represents the joyful combination of unbridled enthusiasm, creative expression, and enjoying yourself? If the Page of Wands is a person in your life, they're likely young, or maybe they just act like they're young. While they are also delightful, you probably shouldn't hold your breath for them to follow through with their ideas. They may be easily distracted and have difficulty focusing, but what is wonderful about the Page of Wands is that they welcome new opportunities with a beginner's mindset. They are delighted to learn and grow. If you are the Page of Wands, there's a lot of potential in your life right now. Don't limit yourself. Your future is crackling with endless possibilities. At some point, the page will have to narrow their path to give full attention to a smaller selection of passions. But for now, at least, life offers countless open roads. I like that. How is that visual, right? Your future is crackling with endless possibilities. That's really good because this is a great card for me because I am in the early stages of, well, I've already accepted, but I got a really, really fun offer this past week. And I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I meant to talk about it yet, but I said yes. So, of course I said yes. It's related to cross stitch. So I said yes to this cross stitch offer and, we're rolling. And I finished up a design for Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. So Gwen and I are just finalizing our fabric choice for the design. And then Gwen's going to send me all of the stuff. I'm going to bust out my model. The project is not that big. And you might want to keep your eye out for a Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers Halloween box this year. And you know at least one designer. And then I have the Burb box for next year and my project with Holly for Market. I have Needlework Marketplace in August. So I got to add some stuff to my calendar so I don't forget. Okay. And then I think last but not least, I finished a book. I finished reading The Blueprint by Ray Gianna Rashad. And The Blueprint it's kind of like a Handmaid's Tale, but it's definitely, it's by a Black author, and, it's in kind of a similar to now US, but there's been a second Civil War, and the South won, basically, in the second Civil War. So, this book, The Blueprint, it follows Celine Bonnet, who is a modern. Celine Bonnet is the now person, and then it follows Henriette, who is a enslaved African who is brought over to Louisiana in the 1800s, and Henriette is a ancestor of Celine Bonnet, and it's just it was a great book. Ray Gianna Rashad, I hope she's okay because the accuracy with which she writes the gaslighting and emotional abuse in this book is horrifying. It's horrifying. I was finding myself gaslit sometimes, right? No, but she wrote it in such a way that it's not right, and yet you're kind of like, well, so I'm brilliantly written. I'm going to look for more from this author. I really do recommend it. It was tough to read in some, looks like it was her debut novel. It was tough to read sometimes, and I listened to it as well. So listening to that character, gaslight Celine, was difficult, but good, really good book, really good book. Kind of, like that review said on Amazon, a cross between The Handmaid's Tale and Octavia Butler, but I think better than The Handmaid's Tale. Different. More terrifying, if it can be. So I think that's all I've got. So plans, projects, the new Flosstube channel, or the new Flosstube planner. So this is what the new planner looks like. You have your episode title over here, the date you film it, and then as you enter things into these columns, they populate over here. So I can just go, and my lack of organization this week was not a reflection on the Flosstube planner. That's just because the Flosstube planner can't fully fix me, right? I'm a little bit disorganized and it can't fully fix me, and that's fine. So I'm going to sign off. I'm going to clean up. I'm going to kit up Virtuous Woman stocking with my overdyed flosses, and then Rosie and Wade and I are going to go to the Scandinavian Festival, and we're going to have a good weekend. And I'm going to ship some stuff probably tomorrow. But I will see you all soon. Thank you for hanging out. I will be streaming on Twitch tomorrow. I think I did last week, but that was a long time ago, so I don't remember. Pardon. But if you like live streaming cross stitch, I stream live on Twitch and YouTube every Saturday morning, Sunday morning, lies every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific time, usually every. Okay. And then I'll do that this week and next week. And then the following week, August 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, there might not be a Flosstube or a Twitch stream because that is Needlework Marketplace. So it's the online trade show, Needlework Marketplace. So I should have shown my Needlework Marketplace releases, y'all. I'm ridiculous. I'll make a special edition video, but you've been looking at one for weeks and weeks. And this is Ramsdale Morning Sampler, and this will come out at Needlework Marketplace in 2 weeks. It is sulky threads, sulky 12-weight cotton on a 16-count baked clay Aida from Fox and Rabbit. Of course, it'll have a DMC conversion, but that's one of the releases. I have 5 releases, and I guess I'll make a special edition video so you can watch them. You can look at them. I'm looking at the rest of them. They're sitting up there, but I plumb forgot. So look for a special edition video. That's fine. And then that's all I've got. So whether you watch Flosstube recorded or you like live streams, I will see you when I see you because I'll be there. And until I see you, have the best day available to you. A la Jessie at my Slade Pages. Bye.